Okay.
Okay. Hi, I'm Fusabi from Prensa Esports. I'm here to ask you some questions about the games. Uh,
Okay.
the first one is, what do you think changed in PSG between the previous game and this one?
Mm, I think, I mean, in the previous one, mm, I think I was playing really bad, and the guys played really well, and they were able to carry. But on this one, like other people were making mistakes, and like I didn't do enough. So yeah, I mean, we just had more of an off day, especially like in game one, we were chasing really deep, and that kind of lost us the game. But also, I guess like our draft, we kind of need to get more of a lead maybe. But and then game two, I felt like we were just kind of like out of it, like we weren't really listening to each other and like processing information right. So maybe that snowballed from like us losing game one or something. But I think we just as a team had more of an off day uh, this round versus PSG versus the first round where I felt like the guys played really well and I just played bad, so that's why it looked competitive.
Okay. In the same line, I ask, did the first game affect of the second mentally? And did you feel any kind of extra pressure for having beaten PSG before?
Uh, I wouldn't say so. I mean, I feel like maybe it does subconsciously, but it's part of the game to like lose a game in a series, and you just need to like mentally reset and go into the next game. But it's possibly it subconsciously affected us, but everyone seemed to be able to shake it off and go in the next game. But we did play pretty bad second game, so maybe it did affect us, but not exactly sure.
Okay, thank you. About the game, um, how do you evaluate which games you want to apply lane swap?
Mm. Yeah, I mean the lane swaps. I mean the most important thing is like, do you like your matchups or do you not like your matchups? Um, and there's like many layers to the lane swap. Like you can full lane swap or you can like push and end it early because once you have like two, three spells, the matchup changes. So it just really depends on like matchups and how they react to your lane swap, or also if you think they're gonna lane swap because there's some like mind games you can play. So overall, it's like really flip and complicated, but the most important thing is like once you get in the lanes, like whether it's swapped, match, or like some crazy stuff, or everyone's fully split top and bot, like it's more how you react to that after and how you adjust the lanes after. Because usually if you set up a good, if you do the right thing, um, you can fix your lanes after and not lose the entire game. But if the enemies make a mistake, you can win the entire game. So it just really depends.
Okay, I got it. To the last questions is, how do you evaluate your personal performance this MSI, the teammates of the team performance,
My performance or the team performance
the
or
both?
both? Both? Yeah, okay. I think for my performance, I mean, the first series I played horribly. Like that was way below my level. Um, and then the second and third series, I think, I mean, second series was against T1, so like they're obviously an amazing team. So a lot to learn there. And then in this series, I mean, I felt like I did my job, but I didn't do enough. And when the guys made mistakes, I couldn't compensate. So I still obviously want to strive to play better because I don't want to just be a passenger in the game. I want to be able to step up and carry the boys when they're having issues. So overall, not happy with my MSI performance, but it's in the past, so I just gotta learn from it and use it to improve.
Uh, okay, Lucia, that's all. Thank you so much for your answers. Cheer up.
Thank, thank you, thank you.